How you doing, seniors? Just a little update here to move you on to the next phase of the capstone. So yesterday or the other day I posted a video and informed you that the capstone has been placed on the COVID page in its abbreviated form. All right? I don't want us to get overly excited about it because it's a multi-step process, and if you get overly excited about it, then you'll freeze up. This assignment, as I explained the other day, is vital for college and for solving problems. And of course, the topics here are the types of topics that you'll be voting on as a citizen. What kind of politician thinks that they have the ways to fix these problems? I don't care which of the 18 that you choose from. Pick one. I also don't care if you do it by yourself, in a pair, or a group of 3. Okay? All you have to do is communicate that with me. Grade isn't better or worse no matter how you do it. Some want to work by themselves, some may want to work together. Either way is fine with me. So back to our lesson here. When you pick this, I don't want you to go to the rubric and start freaking out about all those things, right? That makes us unhappy seniors. Don't worry about that. The only thing I want you to focus on is the research part under Diigo, okay? Now, I'm thinking you might have forgotten all about Diigo. We did and made accounts for Diigo at the beginning of the school year. The last time we were dealing with it, we were researching college, data, universities. I had you put the school that you thought about doing. I think I even had you put in the Bureau of Labor and Statistics in there. We did a couple activities in here. And the idea was, after the book, especially with Earth Abides, I had articles to share with you for Earth Abides and in Jurassic Park to kind of rekindle this again. However, we didn't get to do that. So I'm trying to give you a little brief overview of how to do this. So when you go to and log back in, which was, if you remember, connected to your Gmail, I told you to make your Diigo, your username, your Gmail name, and I said keep the password the same. So that should work for most of you, okay? So when you log back in, if you remember, you'll see these are websites that you used. And if you, again, remember, I told you to tag things. You should have things in here that say futuristic lit, post-secondary, you know, and all that, all their other stuff, okay? And so this will help you tag. Everything today is going to go under Capstone. It's real easy to add to this, okay? And this little lesson will only take a couple more minutes, and then you guys can get on your own. But if you want to add, say, an article, right, and you say you're doing it on global warming, right? I would hope that you wouldn't do anything so broad as this, but there you go, global warming potential. Scholarly articles about global warming. All right, so there, we're just using the first one there. Remember, ultimately you need 9 articles in your bibliography. And I told you in the video, you might not use all 9. You might use 6 or 7, but you've looked at them all. You might only quote 5 or 6 of them, right? But all of them came into play. So we want to use this. So you go up, you hit copy, Control C, go back to your Diigo, go to the plus sign. It's very easy. Go down one. We want to put this bookmark in. You paste, right, the URL in. You hit next. There she is. We got a big title here. We're going to tag it. Click in tags. It's going to be futuristic lit. That should come right up, populated. We also want to tag it Capstone. And there we go. And we want to add it. So now there it is. And what this allows you to do, if you go over to the pencil, you can now annotate that article in Diigo. Okay? Now, what that means is, if I could get my trusty assistant over here to help me, my assistant being my son Dominic, if he would come over here real quick, I need you to hold this camera for me. All right, he's being ornery. You can highlight it there. Well, this might not be. Could you hold that right there for me just for a second? Generally, when you highlight it like this, well, this particular article is not cooperating. It generally would allow you to annotate. Okay? And so to give you an example of that, if I go back to my Diigo, if I scroll down there, you can see my original, right? You can see that I could leave all those annotations right there. Basically, when you put everything into Diigo, everything here is going to be in your bibliography. All that information that comes on here. This information that you highlight, that's the highlighted marks, and then also your notes, that's the material that goes into your presentation. The reason why this wasn't working is because I made a little mechanical error. I forgot to download the app, the highlighting, the annotating app in here, and that's, you have to download the tool up here for the extension, yeah, which might be blocked because, yeah, that should be adding that to Chrome, add the extension, as long as there isn't a so anyway, you can add that on your own personal device, okay? And then you'll be able to annotate right on there. And that's a very handy tool because when you pull up the document, you'll be able to see when you're putting your research together, you know, what you highlighted, but also the note that you had there, okay? Which can be very handy in doing your research. Now let's just say, for the sake of argument, Diigo's not working, not happening. You can't get the extension to work, and you're getting frustrated as all get out. All right? Then what I want you to do is create a Google document and label it Capstone Research in Google Drive. And then copy and paste the URL in there, and any kind of notes that you read on there that you like, just copy and paste the actual words right into the document. It's not as pretty, it's not as neat and universal and as friendly as this, but it will get the job done. All right, and ultimately you can share that with me, because one of the nice things about Diigo is you can share with me, and I can see what you put on there, and I can see how your research is coming along. I'm looking for 9 sources in here on your topic. If by some chance you're doing it with a group of people, you're going to need to know this anyway. You go to My Groups, you click on here, and then you can start a group, right? Create a group, and when you create that group, you name it, okay? Name it there, description, okay? And it'll pop up. And then ultimately down at the bottom, you'll be able, after you go through all this business, create your group. Then you'll be able to invite people. And you send it directly to their Gmail. They can see everything you guys can do will be under that group heading. All right? They can't see your personal stuff. You can't see theirs. But everything you do today, together in the group will be there. Okay? That's the lesson for today. What I'd like you to do after you pick, okay, start putting some research into Diigo. Send me an email and tell me, hey, this is the one I'm doing, and this is what I've any questions that you may have. All right, and ultimately, whether you're using Diigo, you'll share with me so I can help you along, watch as you go. Or if you make the document and start putting your sources in there with the information copied and pasted under it, just kind of make it neat. Source one, the link, the bibliographical information underneath. I'll do a video on that later on. And then the information you're going to use. And then I'll help with a series of videos, help you put it into a slideshow. And it'll all work out. It should not take you guys weeks to do. All right. If you get on it and are industrious, you can be done very quickly. And when you finish the capstone, you are finished with, well, senior English. So with that, I will bid you adieu from Futuristic Lit.